Welcome to our program on Kardec Radio.
Hello, everybody. Good to see you all. I hope this finds you well. You are safe. You are healthy. Hey, Allan, we keep going on lockdown. Our time changed. Perhaps for this reason, we will see a lot of many people here because they are expecting our show 1 hour later in America. So we are now 1 hour earlier. So good to see you. Good to see my mates here. Wanderlei, Nate.
Hello, guys.
Hello.
Yeah. So it's a little bit dark now. We'll get our long evenings. See, are you ready for the winter, guys?
No,
We are never ready, but we have to accept.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, Don made it. Thank you, Don. Nice to see you. Or at least nice to see you are there.
I don't.
Yeah. So today we're gonna talk about trials and expiations. What's the difference between trials and expiation? See, somebody's worse than us. Looks don't comment now. They had their first snow. See?
Wow.
See? You know, I don't know, Tom. This is my own viewpoint. Sometimes I prefer the dry winter like you have there
Oh, yeah.
than the wet winter as we have here. But sometimes when you are, I don't know, 50, I think 50 is cold. I think, yeah. I don't know in Fahrenheit what's the difference by heart. But when you got like below 0 Celsius, sometimes I prefer I don't know. Okay, we needed to blossom where we are where we are. So we need to blossom here. Let's blossom here.
That's it.
Okay, Patricia. Good to see you. Good to talk to you. Good to have you here with us today. Okay, as I said, we're going to talk about what's the difference between trials and expiation. And I hope we're going to give you some viewpoint here. And at the end of this talk, you can answer some questions and you can figure out your own answers. But before we start, let's do our initial prayer. Nady, do you mind to do an initial prayer for us?
Of course not. Sure.
Okay.
Okay, guys. For those who can and want to close your eyes, if not, keep them open. Just take a deep breath. Raise your thoughts to Jesus, to the high spirits, for our good friends. Let's ask them for enlightenment to help us with this talk today. Be glad for this moment and hope that we all enjoy this conversation and that this will add good things to our life. God be with us. So be it. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Amen. Okay. So, let's begin with the definition by what is trial and what is expiation. Anyone take the chance to
We're going to use here Emmanuel. Emmanuel simplifies in a really nice way. I'm not going to go for the definition. I'll let Stevan doing that after. But Emmanuel says to us in the book, The Consoler, quite simply, that the trial, the expiation is to fix something that we have done before. So always when you have to expiate something, is to fix something which we did. Could be in this life or could be a previous life. So basically we have to fix an issue or like we have to correct something. A trial could be something which the Spirit chose by himself. He chose himself to live in the next life, or it was chosen to him. But always a trial is something which the Spirit is aware, or his mentor is aware, that, for example, when the lady Stevan, they chose this kind of trial because they understood that in order for them to progress in this aspect, they must pass on this. They must pass on this trial. They must pass on this lesson. But basically, is this expiation we are fixing? A trial is something for us that maybe we are choosing ourselves or our mentor in order to improve. But basically, that's what Emmanuel says.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, in another word, like we can say that expiations is related to our past. Doesn't matter if for the other life or this one or this life, but expiation is related to our past, and the trials is related to our future.
Our future,
because
yeah.
the trial is something that you are prove ourselves. Like the same, for example, for if I study for a test, let's say that I'm studying for my drive license, right? And to know if I'm really able to do it, if I learn it, I have to go to the test.
Correct.
You know, if I passed, I'm good. If I don't pass, I go again, and then you will be like, are you back? And then you have expiation. Because I have to study again harder, something that I tried and I didn't make it.
Yeah, but for you to have an expiation is on that trial that you are doing, you're supposed to have done something wrong, because maybe you weren't able to succeed on your trial, but you haven't done anything wrong also. You simply weren't able to succeed. So expiation, it's always, as you said, something related from the past, but it's always related to something wrong that we did. So you're never going to expiate something that you did well. Let's say if in a previous life, I had the trial of learning how to deal with money, for example. I'm not, if I succeeded in this trial, I'm not going to expiate that, because that's something which I learned already. So you never expiate something that you are good at. You always expiate something that you failed or you're not good at.
Yeah, no, it was just a simple example, but it's.
Yeah, but I got you're correct.
The context is there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's in summary. Oh, let me put it here. In summary, past trial is when you go to fix something, and expiation is something you need to pass through it in order to evolve. In a very simple words, and this come across with my talk on.
You changed. Sorry, Stevan.
No. Expiation is the challenge we need to overcome in order to evolve. Trials is the problems we need to fix.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So, a second. Boss calling.
We can lose Stevan any moment. Be prepared for that.
Yeah.
So, and this come across with our the talk I gave last Sunday If you want to go deep a little bit, you can see my talk on the Spiritism Society of Ireland YouTube page. Is recorded there, and I showed this figure here. We find this. The name of this is Mental House, and you will find this in the chapter 3 in the book in the Greater World. Okay. And André Luiz explained to us, we divide our mental house in 3 parts. Past events, you can compare with the basement. Present is the social living area. Future is the attic. So in the past is everything we learned, everything we passing through, all the experiences we have lived. Present is the word like that. Present is today's experience, and future is your connection with with, let's say, with God, your connection with the superior spirit. Okay, the difference between future and the past is because this is based in the past experience. This is things you're gonna have. Change to our talk today. We can say we are passing through a painful moment, a trial moment, a painful moment when we live in the past. This is painful because always we live here and we don't learn. We always recurring in the same pattern of behavior. This is why it's painful, because we don't move on. We always live in the past. Like, for example, that people, women's live like this. Oh, because in 2nd of September 2009, you didn't brush your teeth. You know? So, and when we talk about expiations is everything we need in order to evolve. So when we passing through an expiation, we need all these 3 elements of the house to help us overcome. We need previous experience, we need what we learned today, and we need our connection with superior spirits. When we have these 3 elements balanced, we will pass through the expiation not without a problem, but in a correct way. I think let's move. Let's go back here. I don't know. So I think it's kind of clear for you. What do you think, guys?
Let's see here what Kaka said here. Kaka said, can we fail into temptation and make the same mistake again, like the example Wanderlei gave about the money, right? Yes, and that's something, Kaka, that you have to understand. It's like this. Once, let's say, we have to fix something from the past, or once we are asking for a new trial, so something new in the future, do not mistake and think that, okay, I was in the spiritual world, I'm going to be asking to have more patience in this life. So to have more patience, what's going to happen? Am I going to live in a paradisic island with no one? No, it's the opposite. They're going to put me to bar in São Paulo in the middle of the traffic, working 24, to 7, whatever. So to exercise your patience, you're going to have difficult situations, correct? But it's not because you ask and then you are living that you're going to succeed in one life. André Luiz and Emmanuel explain to us that hardly ever, almost never, spirits, they ask for a trial in the next life, could be money, could be patience, could be whatever, and they succeed in that life. He explains to us that more than likely we fail several times until we fix that. It's like here. You came to Ireland like me, like Stevan, like me, to improve English. And then your teacher said to you, how to say, let's see, a word that we Brazilians will have a lot of problems, guys. Give me an example. Any word that you normally will have difficult to pronounce, to speak properly?
Well, many of them.
No, many of them, but...
Make a list,
Yeah, but let's say a word, I don't remember which word, but stopped, or stopped, or stopped, the way that we say stop. I stopped. We Brazilians say, I stopped. So sometimes we Brazilians will have this problem with ED. So you came to Ireland to improve your English. So your teacher told you once, Wanderlei, Kaká, it's not like this, it's this way. Do you understand and fix it straight away? Most of the time, not. Most of the time, you fail, you made a mistake, and you keep until you improve. It's the same with a trial. You come to this life, you fail a lot of times, then most of the time you fix it. As I said, can spirits fix everything in one life? Can. But according to Emmanuel, André Luiz, and even Chico Xavier, they said it's quite difficult for us to do that in one life. Something completely new. Okay? Coffee, yes, as Cassius gave to us. Coffee and cough. Coffee is cough, to sip. And coffee is the drink. Yeah, good example, Cassius. Thank you.
Yeah. I'm just saying, perhaps we are good example. See what don't say here.
Yeah.
Good example drives me a little nuts, but I don't correct anyone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Danny, how are you? So I think what we are a kind of going around here is what we are saying is our tests, perhaps not trial, the correct way to translate here. We need to find a better word for this, because what we want to differentiate here is a difference between when you're going to a difficult moment, and we needed to differentiate this difficult moment from a painful and very difficult situation, because we don't learn the lesson. We are causing these problems, and when we're going to a difficult moment, because we need that difficult moment for our evolution. It's two different things. Are you with me, Vanderlei?
Yeah.
So perhaps we need to find what is the right translation here to differentiate these two moments. Both are difficult moments, but one is because of our stubbornness, let's say this, and the second moment is because we need to face that problem. It's our reincarnatory moment. We need that in order to evolve.
But you are bringing now a third element to it. So expiations and trials, I believe that the translation, at least for me, they work well. What you are trying to say is that in the aspect of expiation, we have two aspects. One that we need because we have to evolve, and as you said, say again. Because for me, you are seeing a different thing. You are seeing a third thing, which is inside of expiation. I don't know if it makes sense.
No. Well, expiation is different compared to Let's see what Robbie says here. All teaches us about ourselves if we allow.
Yeah.
Yes, that's the common point. But when you are saying, like, when you go to a perhaps trial, we are facing it because of the results of our stubbornness. I say the word again. Expiation is when we need that in order to evolve in terms of spirit. So it's in our reincarnatory plan. So it's two different things. One is caused because, let's say, I kill someone in my previous life, okay? Or no, let's say that I kill myself previous life, and I, let's say, shot my head, okay? Okay. And next life, I will come, but I will come probably with a brain damage somewhere. Okay. And we need to pass this through because we create that. And committing suicide at that moment wasn't in my reincarnatory plan. Nobody comes to the earth with a reincarnatory plan with a plan. Oh, I will kill myself when I reach whatever age. This is not in the reincarnatory plan. This is something we did to ourselves in order, for some reasons. Okay?
Free will, our choices.
Free will. Okay? So, and we are suffering this life, the consequences, what we have done in the previous one, and what we, instead of not accepting, instead of keep going, we still find someone to blame. And especially we used to blame God. God is punishing me or something like this. And expiation is something you need to work, and it is in your reincarnatory plan in order to move on. Like, I don't know, I need to work my pride. So you choose some tests in order to prove that you are getting less prideful there as you were in the past. Yes, no, maybe, go away.
No, but
the boss is calling. Let me take the call.
but Steve, I'm going to reply what you are saying with what Kaka asked again about what I reply. Okay, so Kaka is saying here, yes, but I mean, if I pass the trial about money and I cannot come back to fix my patient, can I fail the money trial again? So Steven, I'm going to reply. I think I know what you are saying. So if we fail in something, okay, in our reincarnatory plan from previous life, and we go there, as you said, we're going to have to fix that thing, correct? So we're going to have that test to see if we are really good at that thing. So, okay, you fix this, let's say in the example of money, as Kaka is saying, okay, I fixed the money probably in my previous life. Can I fail that again? Yes, because you don't really fix one thing in one life, as I said, or maybe in several lives, but each time that we're using a corporeal body, we are still in the temptations of the world. So we're still in the, as you said, we still can, but more the spirit improves in that aspect. If he keeps succeeding about money in 10 reincarnations of 200 reincarnations that he had, more times he succeed, harder is the chance for him to fail again.
Well,
so
I agree with you. I agree with you. In both situations, we can fail.
Yes.
In both situations. Okay?
Yeah.
Like, giving my example again, I commit suicide in my previous life. I born with brain damage, but I can kill myself again this
Oh
life.
yeah,
It's not because I'm born with brain damage that I will not kill myself.
very true.
Okay? Okay?
Hmm.
So we can fail as well. And we can fail, well, okay, you need to work upright. You come this life, you choose some tests to going through, and you can fail. Yes. So in both situations, Kaká, you can fail.
Yep.
Okay? So this is why we can fail. Because we have the free will. That's why we can fail. In both situations. In both situations, the free will is the game changer.
But Steve, let me just add something from the book Renuncia or Renunciation. In that book, Renuncia or Renunciation, the spirit of Alcyone, she's a very high evolved spirit. According to some people in the Spiritist movement, she was Livia, the daughter of the senator Publilentulus. So at the time that she was on Earth, she improved quite a lot. But in that book, Renuncia, she lives in Renunciation. She lives in Sirius, in a star far away from our galaxy, where Emmanuel explains to us that in that world it's considered a happy world. But then she asks for a new trial again. But her trial, it wasn't a trial, it was a mission, which is the third aspect that we can bring to this discussion. So she came to live on Earth again, but it was in a mission. But even her mentor said to her, Alcyone, be careful, because many of you, like before, many high evolved spirits asked to go on Earth to do certain kind of missions, and they fail quite a lot. And once they come back with many more expiations for the future lives. Even the case of Napoleon, the great French general, the same as him. He asked for a mission and he failed quite a lot. So it's not because you are evolved spirit. We are not talking about Jesus in this case. We are talking about evolved spirits. Could be Emmanuel, could be Xavier, Alcyone. Once you use our physical body, Emmanuel explains to us, you are in the game, and once you are in the game, you can lose, you can fail. So it's difficult. It's not only for us, even for evolved spirits.
I like the question here from Robbie Brown. If you learn something, is there a failure? So we'll just learn when we fail. What do you think, Junaid?
According to what Jesus said, yes. We are here to learn through our mistakes. So basically, we learn it through our failure. So we learn when we put ourselves on the game, like I said, to prove ourselves, For example, if you think that you are a patient, that you have patience, that you are okay, that you are a humble person, where are you gonna prove if you are all of this? Here, incarnating Earth and work on this. So you will ask, or the method will put you through some situation that you prove yourself. If you learn how to be patient, if you learn how to be humble, here that you prove this. And many of the times we fail because we think that we are ready for, and when we came here, when we start to live, we see that is unfortunately not. I just want to mention one case because you guys were talking about and just how this case that is in the heaven and hell, the case of Mr. Leitio. I don't know if you guys are familiar with this case. Is a man. He was a manufacturer in the neighborhood of Paris in the 1864, and he had a very terrible. He had a very terrible death. The cauldron of boiling varnish took fire and the whole content fell on his body, and he was completely burned. All his skin was burned, and he didn't die immediately, and he suffered for 12 hours before he died. And during this period that he was suffering before die, he never complained. He never did something, He just was like patient and pray, and he finally passed away, peaceful, even in these conditions. And was very sad for everyone, because he was considered a very good man, a very good person in the neighborhood. He used to help the people in everything, this kind of stuff. I don't go to all the details, but the thing is, his spirit gave testimony of after his death. He was communicating with the mediums of the Paris society, and he gave his testimony. And he said that I tell you why I have a so horrible death, And he said that on the 2 centuries before, I don't remember how many, but about I don't remember, but like 3 incarnations before of this one, he was to be a judge, and he burned some people on the fire, including a 12 years girl that himself set fire on her, because he was considered by the church to be let's say a witch, okay, in the times of when they used to burn the witches on the fire. A very sad time. So he had this in his conscience. He was really sorry for that. Like he wanted to redeem himself for what he did with these people. So he evolved during the other incarnation, but he's still feeling this kind of this feeling that he have to do something to get off of that feeling, to redeem himself completely. So he asked for this. He asked a way to redeem completely, and then was in his plan this death, the way that he gonna die, because he want to go. For him was a very important trial, because he passed through that such terrible and painful death without complaint, without back himself against God and say, he could say, why this happened to me, because I was so good, I did everything in the incarnation to be good, and this happened on the end with me. Why? Like God doesn't like me. God want to punish me for something. Like he could just turn his back on the goodness and throw everything away. All that he would have worked for his whole life, he could easily throw away in the moment of death, when he have to pass through so terrible thing and so painful thing that one normal person could be really revolt and really blame God, because after that everything that he did, he have a peaceful and honest life, and have a so terrible death. But he did it. He held till the last minute, and he was faithful in God, and he passed that through this challenge, this trial, and he was able to really to finally be free of that feeling that he has, that was so heavy for him. That was the guilt that he was carrying on to kill that people before on the fire. He did so many people suffer on the past of his life, on his other incarnation, that he has, even with the forgiveness of the people and everything, he still carry on that feeling that he did something really bad, and he was, feel really guilt, and he want to, pay some kind of pay in a way. And that was the what was in his program, let's say, the trial. And he finally was able to pass, let's say that this one, he passed for the next level. Yeah. Because he completed his trial. He had the expiations, and in the end he has a trial, and he passed.
Yes. Yeah, I agree with you, Nady. Yeah. And this come across with Rob just wrote, and I will show you the question 132 from the Spirit's book. Rob is saying here, failure has the feeling that you gain nothing of value. There is always something positive to take from experiences, different from the situation, not going as you want. That's expectations. And then we can go to question 132 from the Spirit's book, which says, what is the purpose of the incarnation of spirits? And the answer is God imposes incarnation for the purpose of leading spirits to perfection. For some, it is an expiation. For others, a mission. However, in order to reach this perfection, they must undergo all the vicissitudes of corporeal existence. Therein lies their expiation. And come across with Rob said, because depends of the point of view. Some we see when we fail something bad instead of something good. And we needed to understand, like, if I fail, what I learned from this. Instead, we need to define, like, let's go back to the moment when we were studying, like, if you fail a test, could be for many reasons. Like, I just put it here, 3 reasons. Could be because you didn't study. Could be because you were sick at the moment and you are not feeling well. And the third is because the test didn't have what you asked, what you was told to study. Okay? So you can fail. And when we fail this, we, instead of getting this and learn, we spend much time to find someone to blame of. We have pity of ourselves, and we need to take this failure as a fuel to put us up. It's like when I always have this in my mind in time I was doing my college. One of the professors says, okay, when you work in a retail shop and it was proven, they did a test and it's proved, like, every 10 customers, 1 customer buy. Okay? And you hire 2 new sales guys. Okay? So come the first customer. 1 tried to sell to him, and he didn't succeed. So the customer left. And he all the time was, this I did not sell, this price is too expensive, giving a lot of excuse. Then come a second customer. And the other sales guy was talking to him, and he didn't succeed in the sales. But instead of blame the product, the price, he said, okay, it's missing, it's just 8 customers. It's just missing 8 customers to make a sales. Or if you want, you can use the example of the cup with half water. It's half full or half empty. Depends on you. What do you think? Don't think?
No, I think. But actually, I was thinking about what Rob said even before that, Stevan. He asked here, if we learn something, is there a failure? Like, of course, anytime that we learn something, as you said, you are seeing the positive way or the negative way. But the thing is, once we make a mistake of we failure in something, are we gonna learn a lesson? Of course we're gonna learn, but at what cost? So it's like this: you're gonna learn how much is 1 plus 1 is 2, correct? So you can learn that in the first year of school or whatever, I don't know, kindergarten. You can do that, but you can be someone really rebel that you don't want to learn anything. You just want to play. You don't care. Okay, let's give it up. 1 to 1 is too obvious, but let's say you're gonna have to learn something at the first year in college, as you still want to talk about college. You can learn the first and allow that to pass, or you can learn in the end and pay the price for it. So of course, each time that we learn, that we fail, if we are learning something, it's good. But sometimes, because of that failure, we pay a really high cost. So we have to see here as a number, as an accountant. Okay, I'm learning something, but I'm suffering quite a lot to learn that something. So replying to what Rob said, if you learn something, is that a failure? Yes and no. Depends. If it's okay for you to suffer quite a lot to learn that simple lesson, it's okay. Maybe for some other people.
You can learn through examples as well.
That's it. Yeah, I was going to say that. So, but if you are smart, instead of failing something, have that pain behind your back, you can learn through someone. So, Robbie, I think your question is quite good. Yes, we are always learning, but sometimes you're gonna pay too much to learn some simple things that we could have learned in a much simpler way. Then we can avoid a lot of expiations.
So in other words, is that it's like it's always our fault.
Yes,
There is no
way.
sorry. Yeah, that's true. This is what
Again,
Kardec say. If you read the gospel, is what is there.
Yeah, well,
like the challenge and the expiation that we have is the consequence of our act. It's action and reaction. Like the things is, are you really will torture yourself? Just think about the fails that you did on the past, instead of think the good that you can do and change the future. I think this is the key. Because according with the gospel, according with the Kardec, the Spiritism, everything, all the trials, all the expiation that we have is we did that to ourselves. But basically that is they repeat this a lot of times on through all the books. It's because we did something that caused consequences that lead us where we are right now. So if you are passing in any expiation, any trial, or we chose these trials to evolve quickly, let's say, or we are expiate something that we did.
Yeah.
Basically. Yeah. So the thing is, face it, deal with that, learn it, look to the future, and find a way to live better and to fix that.
Let's
to pass the challenge, let's say.
In a more practical example here. Everyone know here what you need to work on you. And instead of postponing this, why do not start to work on this in, let's say, in small parts? Because you need to work on this. You need in this life, in next life, in 20 lives ahead. So you need to work on this. You will need. And one thing we need to stop to pushing us. When you start to work in something, it doesn't mean you will finish to work on this in this life. You need to at least start to work on this. Okay, like, I don't know. Let's take the example like Kaka gave here. If you have money problem, It's not, oh, I give this money problem I have here. Okay, I will give the finance to my husband to control, and I don't have to touch the money. And at the end, I'm okay. You didn't work your problem of dealing with money. You had a better life. You have a good life because your husband was in control of that, but you didn't sort this out. So instead of doing this, giving this, and avoid to work this, why do not start to work this in small bits? And sorry, and not think about, oh, this is a trial, this is an expiation. Let's not think. Either way, we need to work on this. Otherwise, it's us. What's the point to think, oh, this is expiation or this is a trial? So let's move on. Let's make this incarnation a smart incarnation. And what it is a smart incarnation? Watch the others. Follow your intuition, but at the same time, be in a prayer, be in connection with the superior spirits. Try to listen then when they're talking to you in order to resolve something. And the first step sometimes is, okay, I know I'm I'm prideful, so I need to work on this. So we recognize that, but recognize is one thing. You need to recognize and start to work to be less prideful. Let's see what Rob's saying here. I think the process is amazing, beautiful. However, I need to learn, I'm grateful for. Some of my hardest trials have come with amazing wisdom. Usually, yes. Usually, yes. Like Vanderlei said here about your own question, Robbie. It's failure when you learn. Yes and no. But the point is, when we learn, it's amazing thing. Doesn't matter which way you learn. If it was you learned by example or if you learned by a failure, when you learn, it's amazing thing for you. And that's why everyone here have this beautiful and great moment when you overcome that barrier. Yeah?
Yep. I think for me, there is no win or lose or not this anymore. I think we always win. We always can take something good, you know. Sometimes you think that you're failing something that you are, you know, I try hard and I didn't get what I want, and you consider yourself a failure because of that. But sometimes the thing that you were trying to get wasn't for you, and you didn't get that thing was the best thing that could happen for you in that time. We sometimes not able to accept that or don't want to accept because of pride or because of you know, we put our material desires in front of many times in front of everything because we want that job, because we want that thing, and we work hard for that. But sometimes the thing that you are trying to take, you'll be your big failure if you get. So the failure that you think that you had is not a failure, is a win. You know, it is something good for you, something that you are learning with.
Okay, we lost.
My internet just failed.
We lost Nate. We lost you, Nate.
I'm here.
Okay. Yeah.
So it's
Yeah, that is something we needed to remind. This is always good to put in ourselves. Either way, it's not failure or not. we need to support ourselves. Okay, and we need to be compliant with everybody who's surrounding us. We need to understand that we are in different level of evolution, different reasons why we are here on Earth together. But once we learn how to respect our neighbor, this helps a lot as well. This helps a lot. This helps a lot to reduce our expectation, because we still have a problem. When we start to work something, we put our expectation bar too high. And when we don't reach that bar, we have that feeling of failure. And no, you progress. You did well. You just not reach the 100%, but you are 90%. So it's something still good. So think for the bright way. I work 90% in this incarnation. Next incarnation, I just need to work 10%. You know? So as Nady said here, something we think we failed, but we didn't fail. We did pretty well. That
There is. Sorry, still go.
no, I'm saying, did I say the right thing, Nady, according to what are your thoughts?
Oh yes, yeah, that's exactly what I think. Like because we have this feeling that when we don't get the thing that we want, we have this, and some people can really be devastated for this feeling. Because they consider themselves a disaster, because they fail, because they are not success. But try to see the bright side, and you will find another way for sure. Because if you really not getting this, is for a reason. There is a reason, So you have to stop to analyze. Maybe there is another. If you look to another way, there is a much more beautiful path for you that you are ignoring, because you are insisting go to the same, to the same way and to the same trials, and get wrong and wrong again, because we are kind of addicted to that thing, And sometimes we have just to take a break and look for the other options that we have around.
Yeah.
And in learning with our mistakes, like you said, this most important.
Nate said something very good here. If you try something and you are trying this thing for many, many years, perhaps, I'm not saying you need to give up, perhaps you need to change your strategy. Just change your strategy. What is the definition of madness? Doing the same thing every day, every time, expect different results every day, every time. So let's stop being mad and let's be more reasonable. Okay? Do not give up of your dreams. Do not give up your goals. Just be prepared to change the strategy, how you're going to reach them. Like a plane. When the pilot sets, they need to go from point A to point B, and they see there are a thunderstorm in the middle of the way, they just change the course. But he will still arrive in point B. We need to do this to ourselves as well. No. So, 5 minutes left. What do you think, Vanderlei? You're very...
No, I'm just remembering something that you said or Nate said. I don't remember. Doesn't matter if it's trial or expiation. What we have to understand, what Spiritism try to bring to us, is that God is a Father of love, is a Father of mercy. So it doesn't matter if what you are having in your life, the difficulty that you have. Once you see that that difficulty will pass, and that difficulty that you are facing is for your improvement, not in this life, but for your entire spirit. Everything that happens with you, doesn't matter if it's good or bad, doesn't matter if it's trial or expiation, you're gonna see with good eyes. You're always gonna think, if God is a loving Father, what's happening with me now, there must have a reason, and that reason must be just, because otherwise God wouldn't be God. Would be a very meaning spirit, meaning energy, entity, whatever. So let's see things with a better eyes, with eyes of hope, and understand that the suffering is not the end of the journey. The suffering is just one side of the journey. In the journey, as Nate said, we have flowers in the way, we can see the beauty around, we can see good things. So let's not only concentrate trial, expiation, suffering. No, let's see the bright side. Once I believe we do this, as Stevan said, once we expect less from the others, everything's gonna be more colorful, and easier.
A very important word to resume all this, like that I like to use. It's faith. We have to be more faithful. We have to have more faith. But I'm not saying about religion faith. I'm saying faith in a much complete sense, like faith on the future, faith in ourselves, faith because this life is just a little passage, So when we have faith, and this is one thing that the Spiritism brought to me, and I think for many people that is beautiful. Spiritism gives us hope and faith. That never is permanent, like everything will pass and everything continues, is growing and is evolved. So we are not a lost cause. It's not a matter of time. But we will get there. But we have to be faithful. We have to have faith in ourselves, faithful in the universe, faith in God, in whatever you want. But this is really a very important tool that we have. And sometimes we forgot to use.
Yeah. And always when we think about faith, you always put a religious thing in faith. No. This is faith in you. This is faith in... Unfortunately, we connect faith with religion, but it's beyond that. Like, we need to have the faith like a baby. Okay, 6-month baby. 6 years old baby. 6 months baby. He doesn't care. He will sleep. And he know that in 3 hours he will be fed by a bottle from the mom. He knows. So this is faith. Like, let's get a little bit older now. My 4 years old girl. She sleeps when we driving from Dublin to my place here. She falls asleep. She falls asleep in a car, and she knows when I arrive home, I will take her out of the car. I put her in her bed, and tomorrow she will wake up in her bed with PJ, and she will have a great night because I will do it, and she knows I will do it. This is faith.
Yep.
This is faith. Let's see, just to finish here, because we are running out of time and the boss is getting me nuts here. Heraclio Barbosa says, sometimes we have to be careful when we think we are going through pain and expiation, because we may be having very high standards and actually we may be succeeding, but we can't see that because we are stubborn to one idea of success. Yes. Great, Heraclio. Thank you very much for your contribution. Good to know we share the same view. So in order to finish here, guys, let me just share my screen here. Just give 2 announcements. So on the November the 78th, we will have the Spiritism Acts 2020. The main topic this year is What a Wonderful World. If you want to know more about it, go to spiritismacts2020.eventbrite.co.uk. The event will start on the 7th, 3 o'clock London time, which gonna be for 9 o'clock Eastern time in America. So you can see this from different sources. We don't have it, but we will let you know soon. And also on the 28th of November, we will have a great talk with Aru Gandhi. And he will talk about the lessons of his father, Mahatma Gandhi, gave for us in our daily lives. So you cannot miss that. Also, I want just to give you, here we emphasize the English, Spiritism in English. So I want to highlight these 2 great websites. I invite you to go to these websites and
Stevan,
Google. Yeah.
sorry. Just go back to, even once you go to the other slide, take the address and post all the address here in our inside StreamYard.
Oh yeah. Okay. I can't do it because it's the PowerPoint. So, but I put it here.
Sorry, I thought you could copy and paste. Sorry.
No. It's I put it here. Oh, see. No, but I put it here. No worries. And we do have the spiritistinstitute.org. This is our website. Everything about the Spiritism you need to know about the Spiritism in English-speaking world. Also, spiritistacademy.com. You have great, brilliant studies about the Spiritism teachings. So I invite you to go there, and you have any doubt, if you want to check what they're saying about some kind of trials or expiation, like we say today, you can go and you can see. This is a building tool. It do not have all the lessons, but if you have an idea, just go there and write, oh, I want to know more about this topic of the Spiritism. And I'm pretty sure we can work on this and leave some lessons for you guys. Okay, so this is it. No more announcements. We can wrap up here. And Vanderlei, can you do the final prayer?
Sure. So, for those who feel comfortable, I'd like to close your eyes. If you want to keep open, that's fine also. Let's take a deep breath. Let's remember that life, doesn't matter how difficult it can be, it's just a passage in order for us to progress, to evolve, to learn to love, to learn to forgive, to learn to have patience with one another. May the good spirits enlighten our mind and our hearts in order to learn these lessons. And in the difficult times, let's not forget that God is a loving Father, a merciful Father, who only wants us to progress, but he needs our efforts also, because God is just also. And once in doubt, let's reach to our Master and Mentor Jesus, to his gospel, in order to take better decisions and actions in our lives. Thank God, and so be it.
Amen, my friend. Sorry, but I couldn't concentrate. I just. Oh, this comment here, it's amazing. Thank you. An honor to study and share knowledge with all of you. We don't deserve
We
that.
are honored. Yeah.
We are honored to have you stopping by. So thank you very much. Thank you very much. It's just give us feels to keep going in our mission here. Okay, so as Vanderlei recommends, he asked me, so I am a good listener. I put all the links for you there, all the events. Okay, so thank you very much, guys. I'll see you next.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you,
Thank you, everyone.
Bye bye.
Thank you, guys.
See you
Thank you,
guys.
everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye. See you.